You're just back with another video, and I am so ready to start reviewing this series, the new Twilight Zone 2019 series that's narrated by Jordan Peele. I want to let y'all know right off the back, I'm a super casual fan of this series. Haven't seen every single episode, but I still like the concept of it being an anthology series. If you know me from those are my favorite. But let's get into the review. So this review, let's start off with Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele is the narrator. He's fine. It's typical Jordan Peele. I don't think it's anything too shocking or revolutionary, but it just feels like a different take with these episodes. Now this episode's called The Comedian, and I'm drawing a blank on homie's name, so forgive me in this review. I'm only caught up with a couple names. I'm drawing a blank on them. It's just our main character. I think it's Hasim or something like that. I don't know, man. He's a comedian. He's a struggling comedian, because what you notice in this episode, I won't spoil too much in this, but if you notice in this episode, he'll tell the same joke throughout this whole episode. But he's struggling, trying to figure out how can I become more successful at this? How can I get better jokes? And he ends up, and also he has other competition out there. This character right here, her name is D. I'm pretty sure her name was D. So, please forgive me. And then he ends up running into Tracy Morgan's character, where Tracy Morgan's character is pretty much a legend. I'm just gonna leave it at that. They get into this really weird conversation, because he asks him, can you give me some notes? Can you give me some hints? And he tells him what he needs to know, and then things just start getting very weird. He pretty much tells him, like, you gotta just put yourself out there more. And this is really where things take a turn. If anybody there watches anime, right? Have you ever seen the anime Death Note? This is pretty much Death Note, just with comedy. And for those that don't know what Death Note is, it's pretty much where you tell somebody's name, you write somebody's name in this book and they die. I'm not gonna try to spend too much time on that because this is not a Death Note review, but if you haven't seen Death Note, just go watch it. You'll see what I'm talking about. But anyways, back to the review. You notice now people are starting to laugh and really enjoy his jokes, and he's kind of getting a certain high off that. It's starting to boost his confidence, his his stage presence, I should say. But then we get introduced to his nephew Devin, which I remember his character because he came up. He reminds me of my nephew because kids nowadays, when they say there's different generational gaps, and certain generations only like certain things from their generation compared to younger generations. It's stupid shit, but I really like this little kid. This little kid's really smart, and he always wanted to be a comedian like his uncle. I think that's really cool. But of course, little kids like that always got smart mouths. I'm not gonna say what that is, but says something slick to his uncle. His uncle feels some type of way. He still loves his nephew, but there's a scene where he's about to go on stage, and then all of a sudden he's telling this joke, and people are on their phones, and he starts getting on the offensive, and then he starts making because he sees his nephew on the phone, and that kind of fucks him up, and he starts coming at his nephew, and then he says his name, and then all of a sudden things start to change all around him. Pretty much his reality starts warping. I really like the way this whole episode is kind of toned and whatnot. So he goes to his wife, because this is his wife's nephew actually, and not his real nephew. which is pretty interesting because it kind of plays within the story itself. He goes like saying like, "Yo, have you seen Devin? Has he been to the house?" And she replies like, "Devin, I don't know any Devin." So pretty much Devin has pretty much been erased from existence. He doesn't exist. Now he's realizing what's really going on and what he did, and he's kind of it kind of fucks him up, and it starts creating different rifts in his life. So he ends up going back on stage the next night, or however many days go by, and he tries this again, but only to another comedian that's kind of gave him a hard time earlier in the episode, and says his name, and he starts just feeling himself. So he's starting to go on this little rampage, just getting rid of different people that probably picked on him in high school and elementary, and just certain things. He starts trying to clear house, and it starts to change his life and starts to change him as a person. And then things start to quickly derail as he realizes, like, I'm gonna have to do certain things to get certain people out of my life. I'm gonna have to keep doing this if I want to be successful. And it gets really dark, man. It was just pretty dark, and it's like all this just to make people laugh. Like, man, that's just, the writing in this was pretty good. It's okay, it's nothing mind blowing, but it's really interesting to see it play out. He sacrifices all this, makes certain changes that affect other people's lives and stuff, and everything around him. Like I said, it's like the dimension that he's in is just changing every time he's up on stage saying somebody's name. And I like the overall story of it being about him being selfish, not being selfish, and kind of struggling with that. What are you willing to do for fame? Are you willing to just get rid of all of your loved ones just for the sake of laughter, just for the sake of entertainment? And I really liked how this ended. I'm gonna go watch the second episode right now, so expect that up very shortly after I upload this. But until then, I'll check y'all out in the next video. Peace.
I want when they see me, they know that every day when I'm breathing, it's for us to go farther. I gotta do more than just the average man would do. I gotta set a mark that can't nobody touch. A place that I won't go, and I feel as though if you got love and you putting out real shit, you can do that. If you kicking that shit from your heart, you can go wherever your heart wants you to go. You have to be diligent about what you want. You have to apply yourself. You have to motivate yourself. And you have to do it for yourself, by yourself. And then you can do things for other people.